In 2016, ANBERNIC decided that the world needed another PSP clone, but not just any clone. They gave us the PAP KIII Plus, a device that promised the evolution of 5 years of technology in one familiar package. 3 years later, nostalgia struck again and ANBERNIC launched the RG300, a nod to the classic Game Boy Color. With a new stamp on its advertising, I was ready to laugh, but oh, how wrong I was. Let's dive into this journey of discovery. So let's talk about the PAP KIII Plus, the 2016 PSP clone brought to us by ANBERNIC with the promise of 5 years of technological evolution. With a beating heart of 528 MHz, which can hit up to 740 MHz when pushed to the limit, this Little Mips warrior comes armed with a Vivante GC200, spinning its graphics gears between 250 and 375 MHz. And let's not forget the 64 MB of DDR2 RAM, which, although it may seem like a crumb in the banquet of modern technology, is more than enough to revive the classics. The 4.3-inch screen, with a resolution of 480 by 272, offers a pixel density of 128.3 ppi, which won't blow your retinas out, but is certainly enough to immerse you in retro games. What about the battery? The 1200 mAh battery, which is interchangeable, by the way, promises to keep you playing for a good 3 to 4 hours, depending on how intense your nostalgia session is. As for emulation power, get ready for a performance roller coaster. Most SNES games run at a smooth 60 FPS, but hold on to your hat when you get to games with FX and Mode 7, because then the ride gets a bit bumpy. What about 2D PS1 games? Most run well, but don't expect them all to maintain a constant 60 FPS pace, especially when you delve into the world of 3D games. So that's it, my friends. The PAP KIII Plus may not be, hey, I still have to talk about the RG300, but that's the easy part. Pretty much everything I've said about the PAP KIII Plus applies to it, except, of course, the PSP clone part, because the RG300 is our beloved Game Boy Color clone. But let's dive into the few but significant differences. First, the screen. The RG300 decides that less is more and brings us a 3.0-inch screen. But don't let the size fool you. This 320 by 480 IPS screen with 133.33 ppi is like a little portal to the past, with vibrant colors that make retro games spring to life in a way that you can almost smell the nostalgia. And the battery? The battery. The RG300 jumps to 1,800 mAh, ensuring that you can play for longer without worrying about recharging. And yes, it's also interchangeable, because ANBERNIC knows that true freedom comes from being able to change your battery when you're in the middle of a gaming marathon and not near a socket. So that's it. The RG300 may share a lot of its DNA with the PAP KIII Plus, but with its superior IPS screen and more robust battery, it's like the little brother that secretly steals the show. And who knew that a Game Boy Color clone could make us question our life choices? So, my friends, if you're looking to relive the glory days of retro gaming with a touch of modernity, the RG300 could be your ticket back to the past. But remember, whichever device you choose, the important thing is the nostalgic journey they provide. And maybe, just maybe, the amount of fun you can have with these little devices is the real technological evolution we were looking for.